Hey folks, this is a quick video on how to use a terminal. It accompanies chapter 2 of my ebook, How to Use Linux. I'm using OS 10 here, but it's great because it's pretty much the same and it looks much better and I can record video with it. So let's get started. The terminal is this program here, and the shell is just this little thing in here. And a lot of people like to confuse the two. But you can have whatever shell you like within a terminal. And the shell basically gives me some basic info like who I am, this is my username, and this is the name of the computer I'm on, and this is just a shortcut to say that I'm in my home directory. And this is just a separator to make things look pretty. And my home directory is, well, this directory, as you can see in OS 10. So where all my files go. And I can list to see all these files here in a terminal. I type in ls for list and it shows me the files. And if I want to see where I exactly am in the system way though, I type in present working directory and it will show me that I am in users Shinichi, and this is the actual folder that the Mac won't really tell you. It will just show it to you in like some special folder here, but that's actually a shortcut to this actual folder. Under Linux, it's called Home. Alright, so we have to make a directory for our book. Normally, I just go right click, new folder, book, but that's not cool. We're going to do this in the terminal. So make directory book. It's the same thing. The book appears. We can change directory into it, and that is the same thing as double clicking on book. So the shell now updates to tell us that we're inside book, and to go up, like for instance to go up like this back to the home folder, is the same thing as change directory ... and ... always means the folder above this one. So now we're back in our home directory, and we can keep on going like this. And this is basically like the drive on OS 10, my hard drive on OS 10. It's pretty much the same thing, but as you can see, the Mac likes to hide some stuff. Alright, so let's go back to our home directory. If I type in change directory without anything, it's smart and it knows that I want to go back to my home directory. It's a nice shortcut too. Then I go back into book. If I press B and then just press B and then tab, it will autocomplete for you. So now I'm going to use Nano, and it's like Notepad, and I'm going to tell it to create something called chapter1.txt, and I'm just going to type in some stuff for chapter 1 and chapter, or I'll just say Alright, so now I've finished typing chapter 1. You can see that down here there's like a lot of options here, and these basically tell you what you can do. So the caret means control in this program. So if I press Control G, I can get some help. Go up and down with the arrow keys, and if I press Control V, it's like next page, and press Ctrl X. I'll go back to my chapter. And to save a file is to write out. So Ctrl O, and it asks me if I want to save with this name. Yes, I do. So I just press Enter, and there it goes. Alright, so let's go back into our shell. We list the files again, and we see that we have a new chapter. To copy a file, we use copy, right? Quite simple. Copy from chapter 1 to chapter 2. So there we go. But right now, chapter 2 is the same thing as chapter 1. So I'm just going to go in, and I'm going to change things up a bit. And I save it. Enter, yes, exit, and yeah. Okay, now if we don't want to go into nano just to check the contents of chapter 1.txt, we can just use cat and cat. Chapter 1.txt is just going to dump this file onto the terminal for me to look at. But cat is short for catenate, which means to join. And how this joins things is that you give it two files. So you do cat chapter1.txt, chapter2.txt, and it joins both files and puts them onto the terminal. And the great thing about Unix and Linux is that they have this feature called redirection, where you can take the output of this command and save it into a file directly. So and this character here means to save the output into a file, and I'll just call it the draft. Here we go. So now we have a new thing called a draft, and if we take a look at draft, we can see that it has the contents of both chapter 1 and chapter 2. And to rename, just like this, we can go move, because moving is kind of like moving a file to a new name, right? So and that's basically how terminal commands work.